Now, if I may just come around here and sneak into the picture, some of you people probably recognize me. If you have seen my 3 videos on YouTube about eclipses, twin to the sun, Earth's little brother, the eclipse revelation, you should recognize me. 6 months older, but still alive and kicking, thank God. Now, if you have not seen my 3 videos on YouTube, then I suggest that it's high time that you should do so. The videos do have something that you can learn from them, no doubt of that. But the purpose of this video is not to advertise my videos on YouTube. Rather, I wish to make a small appeal for a Facebook friend of mine that lives in Uganda. A young fellow about 20 years old by the name of OCAYA ROGERS. Uganda is not one of the more prosperous countries in the world. It is an impoverished country. I think on the list of the poorest countries in the world, it comes in at about number 25. And the average income in Uganda amounts to $962 per year. There are doubtless some Ugandans that earn more, but I can assure you there are a lot of Ugandans that don't even earn that much. And we can put OCAYA into that latter category. OCAYA would like to return to school, to finish his high school education. Or maybe I should put it this way, to begin his high school education. In Uganda, high school is 5 years. They're kind of modeled on the British system. The first 3 years, you get your O-level classes done, that is your ordinary classes or ordinary certificate. And the final 2 years, you do your A-level classes or your advanced classes. And then you get your final secondary school diploma, where you've completed both your O and your A levels. OCAYA has not been able to continue his education for lack of funds to do so. This is a pretty common problem in Uganda, and it would be unusual in the United States or Canada for a person to begin high school at nearly 20 years of age. Most people that are 20 years old in this country or Canada are in their second year of college or university by that time. But this is nothing unusual in Uganda for a couple of reasons. One is poverty, and the other is illness. Uganda is located pretty much on the equator, very close to it, and there is quite a bit of various tropical diseases, malaria in particular, which a lot of people have malaria, and if they don't die of it when they are children, then as they get older, they will usually have a relapse of malaria at least every year, which OCAYA has just had one of those recently, and with a medical treatment, it took only about a week for him to recover from it. But it is a recurring problem. Once you get it, you are going to have it, to my understanding, for the rest of your life. Well, OCAYA would like to go to a school that is located near Kampala. Kampala is the capital of Uganda, a large city, several million people. And the school that he wishes to go to is this one here, Bugema. I don't think that's how they say it over there, but that's how I say it, Bugema. And Bugema is a Seventh-day Adventist secondary school, university. I think they have a couple of different programs there for either students of high school age or of university age. In any case, OCAYA would like to go to Bugema. The expenses to go to Bugema, the first quarter, 3/4 of the school year, is going to cost about $425. $325 of that is directly for the expenses at Bugema, OCAYA will be a boarding student there. He will live in the dormitory, eat in the cafeteria, and the rest of the other $100, it's going to take about $54 to get OCAYA from the village or the little town where he lives, Nebi, to Uganda, to Kampala, and then he's going to have to take a public taxi from Kampala about 25 miles to Bugema, and then he will be able to register at the school. They cannot accept him as a student unless and until he registers. And so I'm going to send him, Western Union him, $100 here in a few days so that he can get on the bus, about a 6-hour trip, 265 miles or so, to Kampala, and get himself to Bugema in time to register before the 30th of January, the last day that he can register. Classes begin on the 5th of February. Now I'm assuming, and so is OCAYA, that once he registers, that he will be accepted as a student. There is no guarantee of that, but it is a very likely probability that he will be accepted. And so unless he gets there, obviously he cannot register, and unless he registers by January 30, then he cannot attend. So the key thing at the moment is to get him there. I will send him $100 and get him on the road to Bugema Adventist Secondary School. Now, among schools in Uganda, the Bugema School is actually quite a nice one. It might be of passing interest to you to know that Seventh-day Adventists have the second largest private educational system in the world. I think the Adventist Church in this regard is only exceeded by the Roman Catholic Church, that also has a very, very large network of schools. So the first quarter, in any case, at Bugema, by the time he gets there, is going to be $425. The next 2 quarters after that are a bit less expensive because they're expenses up front for the first quarter that don't have to be repeated. For the next 2 quarters, they come in at about $245 each. The whole thing amounts to about $915 plus Western Union fees. And I think that the whole project for the school year will probably come to about $1,000 when all is said and done. The Western Union fees are going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of $36 to $40, and it might be helpful to have a few dollars left over for OCAYA to buy a few things that he's going to need. He has to supply his own mattress in the dormitory, his own bedding, pillows, sheets, blankets, towels, even toilet paper. He has to bring his own. They don't supply that at the school. This is not an American school. This is an African school, and you have to hold up your end of the proposition. But the whole shebang for the whole year, again, ought to come to about $1,000. Now, what I'm hoping, you good people out there who see this video on my Facebook page, and it will also be posted on OCAYA Rogers' Facebook page. OCAYA has about 1,314 Facebook friends at the moment. I have about 2,603, and of those, OCAYA and I share 361 of them in common. This video, by the way, is directed primarily, if not exclusively, to the people who live in the United States and Canada. I really don't expect people from Australia, New Zealand, the Philippines, India, or somewhere else to be supporting this project. I think that it will pretty much be limited to the United States and Canada for the very simple reason that in order to participate, I need you to do a couple of things. One is pray about it, and then think about it. And if the Lord impresses you to help, then do so, and don't let the grass grow under your feet before you do something to participate. Here's what you will have to do. I will need you to send a check in my name, Neil Cameron, And down in the memo line on the check, you can write Bugema. And even if you write nothing, I will know perfectly well that the check is not intended for me, but it is intended for OCAYA Rogers. The simplest method that I know of is simply to gather the checks and to put them in the bank, go over to Fred Meyer's, a shopping center near where I live, and Western Union the funds to Uganda. That's the easiest method that I know how to do it. I would like to assure you, however, that this fundraiser is not for my personal benefit at all. It is for OCAYA Rogers' benefit and his benefit alone. I would like to get this young fellow back in school. Now, OCAYA has not only had malaria for some years that he got, I don't know how many years ago, but some years ago, but 4 years ago in early January, his mother and his father were killed in a road accident. Driving in Uganda is something you want to do with caution. It is kind of the Wild West out on Ugandan roads and highways, and you just really need to be careful. I don't know the particulars of the accident. I just know that the accident left OCAYA and his 2 younger sisters orphans. They are now living with their aged paternal grandparents. Their grandfather is 85 years old and their grandmother is 80 years old, and probably poorer than the proverbial church mice. So they don't have any money to help OCAYA go to school. And to earn the money to go to school, if it were possible for OCAYA to get a job that would pay him anything in Uganda, to earn the $1,000 that it would take to go to school would take him several years to save that money up. Because as I stated, the annual income average in Uganda is only $962 per year. Now, OCAYA has a desire to become a doctor, a physician. I think that's a worthwhile goal. However, I am of the opinion by the time he takes 5 years to finish his high school education, and it would take another 7 or 8 years beyond that to become a doctor, that I really am not of the opinion that we have that much time left on planet Earth. The way things are going, as far as I can see, I doubt that the return of the Lord is even 10 years distant at this point. I do think it's probably at least 5 or 6 years distant, but I don't think it's 10 or 12 or 13 years down the road, which is how long it would take OCAYA to become a physician. What I have recommended to OCAYA, and I'm going to pursue this point rather strongly once I get in regular email contact with Bugema School. From my understanding, they have vocational classes there as well. And I think OCAYA needs to learn a vocation, a trade, a craft of some point, of some sort, as quickly as he can, so that he is able to provide for his own expenses, and also, since he's the man of the family now, to take care of his 2 younger sisters as well. But a mind is a terrible thing to waste, as the expression goes, and OCAYA's mind is going to waste at this point without a continued education. He needs to finish at least his high school degree or get some good vocational training by which he can earn a living and provide for his own needs and take care of his sisters. Now, in order to raise that $1,000, I don't know what your budget is out there, any of you people that are interested in participating, but if people participate at the $10 level, it'll take 100 people to get to $1,000. If you participate at the $20 level, it'll take 50 people to get to $1,000. $25 level, it'll just take 40 people. $40 level, it'll only take 25. $50 level, it'll take 20 people to get to $1,000. Now, if you wish to participate in this, I am not really eager to put my street address on the internet. I would just as soon not do that. I do not mind, however, putting my telephone number, which is 503-866-3976 here in Portland, Oregon. If you have any question about the whole thing that I'm talking about, just give me a call. You can give me a call if you wish to contribute, and I will give you my street address over the telephone so that you know where to send a check. If you would prefer to email me, then you can email me at nac6443@gmail.com, and I will email you back my street address where you would send the check. The important thing at this point, however, is think about it, pray about it, see what the Lord impresses you to do. If He impresses you to help, please do so without delay, so that we can get OCAYA back into school by the early part of February, and the checks really should be here by not later than towards the end of January, so that I can Western Union the funds to Bugema School. They will go directly to Bugema School. I will send $100 to OCAYA Rogers in Nebi by Western Union to get him to Bugema School and to take care of his $15 registration fee and a few other minor expenses. And then after that, any funds that come in will be sent directly to the admissions or the business department of Bugema School to pay for this current year for OCAYA's education. Now, any of you that participate, I will of course keep you properly informed on what is going on with OCAYA. If you have any questions whether I have OCAYA's permission to do this for him, you just go to his Facebook page, and I'm sure he will confirm for you that I have the honor, I guess, of being his front man to raise the funds for him. I asked OCAYA, have you asked any of the other Facebook friends to help you? And he said no, he had not. So I guess I have the distinct honor of being the only one. I think perhaps the reason for that is I tend to take an interest in people, and that often can get me into, situations where I feel obliged to help people. So OCAYA is on my list at the moment. I would appreciate it if I'm not the only person that is putting OCAYA through school this year. I, unfortunately, am not related to either Bill Gates or Warren Buffett, and therefore I have to watch my pennies probably just as carefully as any of you people do out there. But I am willing to do my part to help OCAYA Rogers get back in school, and I hope that the Lord will impress some of you good people on my Facebook friend list to do the same. Thank you very much for listening, and I do hope to hear from you. Take care, God bless, all the best, and now I will just disappear from the picture here so I can turn the camera off. Bye for now.